So in this first edition of BTB Reacts, we're going to cover Joker Stash, reportedly the largest carding forum in history, is finally shutting down. Here's an article from ZDNet that I found, but there's a ton. You can just kind of Google Joker Stash closing, shut down, and you'll get similar kind of content of what's covered here. Middle of next month, this is currently January, late January 2021. Reportedly February 15, 2021, they're shutting it down. And the reality is it's not going to change anything from a defender standpoint, but it's notable, it's newsworthy. For those that don't know what carding is, I want to be clear. BTB security, we're not credit card fraud. That's not our focus. Our focus is in information security and protecting organizations through a couple of different things that we do. But it's relevant to bring up something as big as Joker Stash finally going away after all these years. It was originally founded in late 2014, but Brian Krebs, who is actually an expert on credit card fraud, he had an article over the last week or so that kind of highlighted some of this. And I'd encourage everyone to go check him out. Go see how he's covered this over the years. He actually has a whole slew of articles going back to, I think, as early as 2016 on the history of Joker Stash, how it came to be. And I'll actually pull up, I think, one of them right here. This is, I think, his first article on Joker Stash back in March 2016. And here he really digs into why Joker Stash at that time had become so established, that it was high quality credit cards sourced from reportedly their own efforts to breach credit card systems. It might be some flaws in payment systems. It could be skimmers that are planted somewhere. It could be both. Could be all of the above. There's a lot of ways that bulk credit card data goes bye-bye and ends up into the hands of the bad guys. But Joker Stash had been around, and a lot of folks didn't know it, right? A lot of folks that we might interact with at BTB through our clients, they'd never heard of Joker Stash, and nor should they. It's something that I had heard of them. I certainly seen their name crop up over the years, but I wanted to call it out here on this first BTB Reacts because I think it is newsworthy, it is notable, but I also think it doesn't change anything. I don't think it changes how we'd encourage folks to go about their daily business. This one shut down, yes, but it's gonna, you cut off the head of one and two more grow, right? And these things, the underground, air quote, underground carding forums, they're not going anywhere. There's going to be someone else to step in, take their place, maybe not to the size or scale immediately, and maybe not ever. But again, for the average client, this doesn't change anything about how you go about your business. If you're a financial institution, a bank, a credit union, you probably have a fraud group already that has their hands in some of these, underground, darknet, whatever the kind of fancy term you want to use for it. You probably already have some fraud folks or a fraud service that's looking in and buying, batches of cards to see if your cards are wrapped in there, finding a common point of sale. So that's not going to change. You're still going to do that despite Joker Stash going away because this stuff still exists. For other organizations, whether you're a merchant and you take credit cards and you're subject to the PCI DSS or whatever it might be, you still need to be focusing on the fundamentals of information security, patching, hardening, monitoring, incident response. There's the building blocks of a strong program. And of course, there's so many other things you could be doing, but those are the fundamentals. And that doesn't change with Joker Stash going away. But I thought it was a good one to open with and kind of get this BTB React series going to highlight the kind of things that we want to cover here. Joker Stash, big loss for the carding community temporarily, but for the good guys, for the white hats, for the defenders out there, you're still going to have to keep your ear to the ground. You're still going to pay attention. So, I think that's all we're going to get into today. I certainly want your feedback on what other kind of topics and content we should cover. Please reach out to us on all the social media platforms. And thanks for jumping in.